my bad. Yeah, shit. Oh, this. Yeah, let me get this. Ah, shit. Battlefield. I haven't played Battlefield in a while, so I'm probably gonna be ass. FYI.
We're dominating the battlefield. Maintain your positions.
All right. Well, that's good. Good news. Good news coming in already. All right. Let's see what we can do.
Spotted a hostile tank, 110 meters.
Helicopter pilots. They be going crazy. Especially when you get a good one. Oh, another one.
Enemy helo on my mark, 150 meters. Marking enemy helo.
He hit the building. Helicopter pilot is good.
Marking enemy tank, 200 meters. Get the vehicle. There's a tank. Regroup on my far marker.
Where the fuck is it? Another tank? Oh, that's gotta be a bot.
Lone Tango, 130 meters.
Damn, bro, hiding behind buildings and everything. That's crazy.
Command is watching.
Supplies on my marker.
Oh, it's a jet.
We need to stay out of danger.
We control most sectors of the battle.
Hostiles have taken great losses. Our victory is close.
Damn. I seen that one coming in hot too. Fuck it. That's crazy though.
Correction to commander.
Our forces are assaulting altitude.
I need armor at the marker.
Our enemy has taken Charlie sector.
One down. I'm
Good
reloading.
luck to your squad. Objective captured and secure.
Throwing it.
Alpha sector is out.
Damn. The fuck? God, I knew somebody was walking behind me, but I thought maybe I can get it before. This one's almost over. Help me, please.
All U.S. forces retreating. Victory is ours.
Damn. Haven't played in a while. Got a few kills though. Not too bad. Hey, wait. I gotta line up some videos real quick. Hold up. Oh, yeah, I already got that shit. Oh yeah, gas face. I'll take that.
Ready for orders.
Sir, yes, sir. Oh yeah, let me hear that too real quick. Let me get some of this going too real quick. I like to learn, my bad, you know what I'm saying? I know nobody else does anymore, but I do.
To the world of Eon Flux.
I want that. I want what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm looking for stuff, my bad. Alright, here we go.
Hopes.
Damn, did I listen to that much of it?
But if they are greater than we are, they are less superstitious. And of course, this will cause quite an impact. And it is quite a question as to how many missionaries we will start sending to them. And there's always the bare possibility they'll send a few to us. And this could be a most confusing situation. Supposing we'd suddenly discovered that on these other worlds, society had reached a degree of integrity, integration, and unification built upon some spiritual conviction totally unfamiliar to us, but at the same time, a conviction that has produced irrefutable evidence of its superiority. What are we going to do? Are we going to be able to stretch our faith to meet theirs? Is it going to be a head-on impact? In other words, is interplanetary travel going to change our attitude toward deity, toward creation, toward universal procedure, cause and effect? All of these great ethical, spiritual foundations of our culture. It would seem almost certain that they will be changed. But it is not certain that they can be destroyed. Because if the basic spiritual instinct in man arises from a universal fact, then that instinct is going to be present in other peoples or other kinds of creatures. But this instinct will undoubtedly develop in a different manner because of different problems. A people that has never known war may never know hate, and therefore may not have the problems that we have. What are the problems of people different from ourselves? Are there worlds of problems we know nothing about? Or are we going to find that this planetary family, because it is dependent upon one sun for its light and life, is essentially very much alike? The Greeks were of the opinion that psychically all of the beings in a planetary system have certain similarity. Therefore, that actually, internally, we are apt to be more alike than we are externally. And it is very possible that what we shall find is the same kind of individuation which we find in connection with people. No two persons are alike, though operating with a very similar psychic content. Therefore, it is possible that the beings on these planets, physically modified by the various environments upon which they exist, and psychically modified by these environments and by the pressures of the problems which they have faced, may still have a very similar psychic core, and therefore will be capable of psychic exchange with man.
What?
Whether we know their language or whether they speak a language or not.
What did I get?
So we go back to the ancient Oriental background again, and the fantasies of the Arabian Nights and the fantasies of the Indian stories and legends, and the old myths and beliefs which we find still in Tibet and in other remote areas. And we've come to the possibility that there are these beings in space, that perhaps they no longer speak. Perhaps they only communicate by impressing thought. Perhaps they are not limited to place. They may not have houses as we know them, because they live in the greater mansion of their own consciousness. Perhaps they no longer eat food as we know it, perform the natural functions that we perform. Yet they are beings growing up within a great solar family. And therefore they open to us perhaps the thing that we do not have today. In fact, India, I think, believed they would. Namely, they would open to us for the first time a perspective of direction. They would show us, by their relative developments in relation to ourselves, how the solar pattern unfolds, something we have never really been able to integrate. Also, that if they are using faculties which we do not possess, they will give us a clear demonstration of those faculties at a time when perhaps we would otherwise be unbelieving. The Indians believed that on some of these planets we had beings that we would consider to be gods, and yet in their own world they are not gods. They are beings possessing faculties and powers in full function, which we know only as myths and legends. If such is the case, the demonstration of these faculties and powers is in turn likely to completely change the motion of civilization. If human beings ever really believed that the culture of internals is more important than the defense of externals, and came to united effort on that, we would undoubtedly begin to grow as beings rather than merely extend ourselves as cultures. If we can find, therefore, in our space journey evidences in support of this, it is apt to change our entire way of life. I presume that if we ever meet face to face as a people, a culture on another planet, and find that culture to possess values of any kind which we do not possess, or to have attained solutions to any problems that we have not solved, that this immediate contact could be the most world-shaking event in history, For it would mean undoubtedly the gradual but inevitable change of every institution we possess, and might, if it is of the more fortunate
Tank over
kind,
there.
impel us to the greatest progress we have ever known. We will then have to compete with space instead of our neighbor. We will have to unfold virtues beyond those that we merely pattern upon the conduct of our friends. This contact, this concept of a
Tank's still
total
over
life may also open to us fields of science unfolded in other worlds, developments of all kinds, giving us a heritage very quickly, almost beyond our comprehension. It may
Holy
also
shit.
face us with great problems,
Why
with
did the gun
evidences
sound
of the
like that? That's
audacity of
weird.
our own efforts.
What did I do?
Where we may sleep, we may wake some sleeping monster. We may find ourselves in contact with ways of life that are not desirable,
Fucking tank.
and
a
which
guy
we
out
must
there.
learn to control in some way in order to preserve our own existence. It is a dangerous game that we are playing, but our hope lies perhaps in the ancient conviction that cannot be a fatal game, for the reason that all of this group that we are thinking about
Oh, it's only 20.
is dependent
Okay.
upon one psychic solar life core, the sun. That the basic integration of the solar energy itself sustains all these lives.
Shit, I keep dropping my shit.
Therefore, they must have something in common. They must have certain internal values which they share. And because they have one nutrition, their psychic internal must be to a measure compatible. Thus, this whole procedure may throw the weight of relationships, not upon handshaking and treaties, but upon compatibility of psychic internal natures. Our diplomacy will have to be on a level of our soul function. This will be embarrassing to some folks who haven't been specializing in it,
Right?
but it may again challenge the kind of growth we need. We've all seen what the automobile did at the turn of this century. It made possible great cities. It kept us on the highway, and it has caused more deaths than war.
Exactly.
This tremendous conveyance has also become a deadly weapon. But it did completely change our way of life, and yet it was a comparatively minor thing. Motion pictures affected us, television affected us,
Yeah.
the telephone, the radio, all of these things have changed the world in which we live. Yet contact with a rational group of beings on another planet will change us more than all of the changes of the last 2,000 years put together. Because for the first time,
Got
it
your
will
ass,
bring
boy.
us into competitive or cooperative relationship with a group of lives that did not develop under
Had to
our
hop out
culture.
on them.
Therefore, will give us a space relationship we have never previously known or experienced. It may force us to grow forward, and that is the thing it should do. Because from being citizens of planets, we must become citizens of a solar system. And the fact that it is moving in that way seems to cause it to support the grand concept of evolution. It is gradually coming to the point where planetary life is too provincial for us. We are reaching out to a larger world,
fuck.
a larger experience. And at this critical time, this experience may save us
Damn.
from the tremendous locking of resources which threatens to destroy us today
Gotta put my shit on
by
auto.
tipping us totally into, we'll say, a materialistic economy. If our science, developing its instruments, finds
Oh,
that
that's
these
bad.
instruments
Oh.
discover a new way of life, not according to our scientific theory, but according to a universal plan operating in space, we may then be able to use this plan to correct our own science and save our hides. which in a little bit of danger at the moment. So we look with interest upon this. We realize that the ancients contemplated it rather carefully, and that their final opinion was that these planets are inhabited, that some of these beings are greater than and others less than ourselves, and that those that are greater than we are have already been here.
Damn.
And have come quietly and departed quietly upon the waves of energy and upon the various means which they possess. That they have been in communication with us, and it is through them that the great philosophies and doctrines of the world have, to a measure, been integrated. It is through them that our knowledge of matters beyond our knowing has descended to us as a heritage. That these communications have been through the psychic field of man, that they have gone on since time immemorial, and that therefore essentially the revelations of principles which we have are not incompatible with the principles of a solar philosophical religion. Consequently, our great shocks will be on the outside. But if we try to meet these things with understanding, we will find that this exploration of the solar system will not be more dangerous than might reasonably be expected. But that if we find certain decadent worlds, worlds like our own, perhaps with different equipment, which have, however, become strong in decadence and materialism, then we might be faced with a terrible conflict. A conflict of one power or skill against another. But that this conflict has, as one old sage pointed out, one situation about it that is encouraging. Anyone who will fight us knows no more than we do. The fact he will fight puts him on our level. The individual on the outside. Too. But if we try to meet these things with understanding, we will find that this exploration of the solar system will not be more dangerous than might reasonably be expected. But that if we find certain decadent worlds, worlds like our own, perhaps with different equipment, which have, however, become strong in decadence and materialism, then we might be faced with a terrible conflict. A conflict of one power or skill against another. But that this conflict has, as one old sage pointed out, one situation about it that is encouraging. Anyone who will fight us knows no more than we do. The fact he will fight puts him on our level. The individual who knows more than we do in a great family will not attempt to dominate, but will attempt to teach. It is the level of knowing. The person who wants to dominate is way down on the level. And if we contact those who wish to destroy, we may well be able to hold our own. If, however, we contact that which is superior to ourselves, we will contact it without hazard, because anything that knows more than we do will know too much to kill. So out in space, we may have friends and enemies. Our friends should be wiser than we are, and our enemies as stupid as we are. So on that basis, we have hope of survival. We are coming into this great era of change. Our thinking is already affected by it.
Three of them.
Ultimately, our philosophy, our religion, our education, everything will be affected by it. But all these changes bring with them maturity, bring with them greater understanding. And out of greater understanding comes growth. And growth is worth all the tension, stress, and pain we must spend getting it. For at the end of growth, and at the end of growth alone, is the peace we seek. That's the end of the morning, too, by the way.
You always be wrapping it up.
Mark Curry, happy to have you back on the platform, my man. And G, happy to have you, my man.
Man, happy to be here. You know, we welcome everybody to the greatest show on earth, man. This gonna be the greatest show on earth, man.
World premiere.
Yes, indeed. So before we get into everything, right, let the people know who y'all is.
Mark Curry, the great ex-former bad boy recording artist. Now I'm a book author, a carpenter, master carpenter, a builder, a good friend. This, you know, that's, like I said.
Are they starting over? What is this, a whole thing or something? Oh, it's like 20 minutes? All right. Well, let's do it then, I guess.
Mark Curry, happy to have you back on the platform, my man. And G, happy to have you, my man.
Man, happy to be here. You know, we welcome everybody to the greatest show on earth, man. This gonna be the greatest show on earth, man.
World premiere.
Yes, indeed. So before we get into everything, right, let the people know who y'all is.
Mark Curry, the great ex-former bad boy recording artist. Now I'm a book author, a carpenter, master carpenter, a builder, a good friend. This, you know, that's, like I said, I ain't gonna toot my own horn. I'm just him. It's me. You understand?
I told he built my house out. I got equity right now.
Yes.
He's an architect, this one.
Yes.
G, let the people know who you is.
Oh, my name's Greg Taylor. G hooked it up, AKA G Music, AKA Don't Be Short with My Change. Rim Shop Records. Peachtree Motors, Peachtree Custom Wheels. Legendary, Atlanta.
History. That's why I put this historical shirt on today.
Architects.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, indeed, man. So I had to bring y'all on the platform, man. You know, we talked behind the scenes and y'all told me a whole lot of stories, man. That was dope, man. So with that being said, man, I want to get right into it. The first thing I want y'all to talk about is Suge Knight best friend, Big Jake. He got killed, and y'all both actually seen him get killed. If y'all don't mind, go into detail about that from beginning to end. What exactly happened from y'all point of view?
You want to start him off, or you just want me to tell him what I was doing there?
Yo, it was a body.
Yeah. Keith, the same as I always worked the front door. So that's me. I'm the one who worked the front door. I was over the security damn there. So every person that came into the club, I always made sure they had IDs and things like that. And the people who owned the club were some real good friends of mine. So that's what I did at the club this night. So this night, when that incident happened, I was sitting right there looking at it with my own eyes.
Terrible. It's a tragedy. Man lost his life for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it all could have been avoided. Just communication.
So take me through that night, man, from beginning to end. What happened, yo?
I'm gonna let you, because you know this is the greatest show on earth.
Well, it all happened. It was Jermaine Dupri weekend, and they were at the Botanical Garden, and we owned the club, the Platinum House, and we were doing like Biggie parties. We were doing Bad Boy parties over there. Bad Boy wasn't really taking off yet. It was just getting there, and we was just doing nonstop parties there. And for some reason, our club was closed, but Jermaine Dupri, Puffy, Wolf, Mark, Keith Murray, Too Short, Dallas Austin, we're all at our spot, right? And we wasn't even in the music business yet.
We had opened the spot up. Wasn't nothing going. We had, because it was the after it was over. We was like, let's go to the Platinum and open it up.
Yeah, let's go over there and chill. And we get there. I had been at Jermaine Dupri's party and I seen Jake. I got a business card from him. It said President of Death Row, Jake. Right? I was like, cool. And this dude was bigger than Suge. Suge was big, but Jake was bigger than he was. Right? And he was looking for Puff and they was looking for Jermaine and them there. And I didn't see them at their own party. I'm like, where these guys at? I get over to the Platinum House, they're all in there. So we walk in and it's Jermaine Dupri, his security, Puff with Wolf. And Jake looks in and see these guys, right? I'll never forget that bend over. He looked over, he looked at that door and seeing that they was in there.
Came right to the.
He went back and got Suge. Suge came back. Boom, 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 boom. He came right in and slapped the out of Jermaine Dupri. Wow! Jermaine ran out the goddamn club. You know, my boy Jermaine.
Shout out Jermaine.
It was no way he could
Shout out
even
Jermaine.
compete with that because he slapped his security too. They beat his security at. The
slapped
nigga
his
supposed to be
security.
protecting them. And oh man, it was a nightmare. And Jermaine ran out, his security ran out. Jake and
It's his
shit.
birthday.
And on his birthday, he got slapped like that.
On his birthday.
He hit that
got-
dude, no, like, he didn't even speak to him. What's up? Bah! Jermaine ran. So then we like, oh, snap. Right? And Puff was standing right there and he snatched Puff off his fucking feet. It's the first time I ever seen a man dangling in the air off their feet with one hand. Suge had him with one hand and was shaking them. Like, what's up, little bitch? You've been flying all around the country since you had me go in there and do that thing for you. What's up with Mary J. Blige Publishing? What's up with Jodeci Publishing?
Right.
Puff go, yo, Suge, I ain't gonna be your bitch. Grabbed his arm with his right hand and Suge shook him again. Then Wolf reached over and grabbed him. Wolf was so gangster. He said, boom, Suge. Ain't going down like this no more. And he
Enough was enough.
and he brought Puff out the air, set him back on his feet.
He brought Puff
and
out
and
there.
him and Puff went at it with Suge. They both went at it with him, right? Then Jake reached over and grabbed the two niggas that was sitting at the bar that ain't had nothing to do with it. He grabbed this Jamaican dude,
The smallest one.
the littlest dude. He grabbed this dude like, "Ugh." And dude go like this and go, me not no fan of yours. I don't watch television. Jake was like, ooh, we was all like, ooh, he grabbed the live wire. Like this dude said, he don't watch TV. So he set him back down. We like, whoa.
Yeah.
And we wasn't in the
Set
music
him
business yet, so it's like, we trying to get in that shit, right? And this is Puff and Suge right here fighting in our club.
People we want to meet.
The people we trying to get down with, we like, oh, they out here fighting. We have,
Just our luck.
so our partner who owns the spot, V, he comes up. Like, V, what you want to do? You want to squash this? Don't you want to squash this, V? He go, no. I'm like, what? He said, I got a room for this. We like, nah. Let them niggas fight it out. So we went up, we had a room upstairs, and then we just shoot dice in there. We go up there, and it was Suge, Puff, Wolf, and Jake with V walked into the room. We stood out, let them go in, and held the door down where everybody was watching. And all you can hear was boom, 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 boom. They was in there fighting like a motherfucker. And all of a sudden, V opened the door, and there goes Suge and Puff standing there like this, hugged up. We like, oh, these niggas
Work
fight.
that out.
They worked that stuff. They was like, quick. And we all came down. We came out the club. It was like the beef is squashed. We came down the dance floor, and we were walking out the Platinum, and it had a little atrium. And I'll never forget, because it's I could see it, the tour bus across the street. We standing there, Suge's in front of, with Puff, they walking to the limo, hugged up. Jake and Wolf is walking behind them. All of a sudden, somebody started shooting across the street, and I knew Mark was at the front of the gates.
Yeah, I'm at the front.
I know he was up there
fine.
strapped. And I'm like, who the fuck is out there shooting across the street? And I can see the dude just busting, bop, 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 bop. And the security ran.
Cop.
The cop, the Atlanta PD ran that we paid to protect us from unwanted attacks and shit. When soon as that dude started shooting, the cop ran. I'm like, oh,
First one.
we in trouble. The cops ran.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, the dude just came out of nowhere. While everybody was looking that way, this dude came out of nowhere and flashed like the Flash and spent, and he touched Jake with that gun. I never seen that shit before. Them New York niggas is the coldest killing niggas I ever seen in history. They killed that play. It was called the play for the overlay. They started shooting across the street to make everybody look. We looked, the dude came out of nowhere and just touched Jake. And Jake was about 400 pounds. He hit him like what, 4 times, 7 times?
5.
I mean, he just kept shooting, just touching him, bop, bop, bop. But the whole time he was looking at Suge. like, you next, nigga. And we like, oh, and I'm standing right behind them. We like, it's happening so fast. And then he pulled out on Suge to blast Suge. And I thought it was a girl because it was screaming like a girl.
It could have been 2 times because when I looked, I seen him had Puff. That's when he had Puff in that chokehold. When Jake was doing that, the reason why, just imagine, if the girl was in front of, why he wouldn't have let the girl have it too? If he just finished doing what he was doing, if it was a girl, and that was all that was protecting him at that time, she would have got it too that night. He couldn't do it. That's why he grabbed somebody he couldn't shoot at. That's why he looking at him like, yo, this should have been you, but I can't get you right now, but I got him.
To let you know.
Yeah, I'm letting you know.
That's why he looked at him like that.
That's why he would look, because he couldn't do nothing to him because Puff was right there.
So hold on. So then he drew down on Suge to give it to him, and Suge snatched Puff up.
Yeah, that's when he.
And that's when they wouldn't shoot.
With that tan linen shoot on.
And then he backed, because they was going to the limo, then they backed up to the back door. We go back into the back door to the club.
That's when he
Then he snatched the girl.
Yeah. That's when he was running crazy. Remember he was like, oh shit.
I know I was running. I don't know. All I know, that nigga started shooting. It was like slow-mo camera, like it's like your whole life flashed before your eyes.
Yeah. But when he was shooting, I knew he wasn't gonna shoot me because I told you I should see him all the time. Like I used to be the one that served him his, crystals every night. So when he was shooting, it let me know that I could actually look at it because I said, he's not going to shoot me, he's shooting somebody else. So I was able to sit there and look like this and go, wow.
Yeah. I've never seen him get touched by a gun and shot before. That just blew my mind. I thought, I was like, this is surreal. And then we all backed up and we went out to the kitchen. It was like out the back side door to get away. And it was like Keith Murray, Too Short, Dallas, Jermaine.
Everybody on the side.
Hiding up under the car.
Yeah.
And then Wolf.
Right.
I came up on Wolf, and that nigga was over there crazy, like insane, right? He was like, I'm like, Wolf, what's wrong with you, Wolf? Wake up. I had to slap that nigga. Wake up, Wolf. He came out there, bro, bloodshot eyes. And I'm like, damn, wake up, Wolf, what's up? And he was like, he was in shock. And he was the homie, so we like, come on, homie, what happened? And all of a sudden, the dude came from around, the nigga who was shooting came around the corner. We on the sidewalk, they all up on the cars. I'm trying to get Nick to get up. He came around the corner with the gun like, boom, and he drew down. And we was like, if this nigga shoot, we killing him, right? He didn't shoot. He stopped and looked at us and froze. And he had the gun in his hand.
Then took off.
Then went back the other way.
Yeah.
Then we like, damn.
What just happened?
Where's the police? Right? Then they shot up our club. So we walk around there and get all these fools up off the ground, and we walk around there to go see Jacob. We knew dude just got dumped out.
He was on the ground. He was just laying there on the ground.
That's the first time I ever seen like a 400-pound man shrivel up to like 2 pounds. He shriveled all the way up.
Yeah.
He was ticking. He was out there ticking.
He was like, do it look bad?
Mm-hmm.
Do it look bad? And my man was like, nah, it don't look bad, just breathe. He was like, do it look bad?
Trying to save his life. We went over there, everybody would start trying to save his life. V was over there coaching him through it, talking to him. He's like, do it look bad? And you can see the blood. That's the first time I seen a trail of blood going down the sidewalk into the streets. And the white people was pulling up, coming from the opera. They was pulling up and looking at this, and they would see Suge, Puffy,
Dallas,
Jermaine.
There was so many celebrities.
out there. And they would look and they would just drive through the light and just panic. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then the ambulance was coming. It was taking so long for that ambulance to come. Now the security cops finally came back. They done ran off.
Rambo, after he come back,
Rambo,
even heavy.
And
rest in peace,
Rambo. He was running so fast, bro. And he gets there, and we praying over. We got dude right there. He ticking.
But hold on, you gotta go back to when the 4 dudes that was like, damn.
Oh, before the 4 dudes. So when I got around that corner and seen Jack down there and V, Jake trying to bring him back, Suge and Puff was like right here.
Right there, over to the right.
And Puff kept going, man, it's gonna be all right. Yeah, it's gonna be all right, sis. It ain't gonna be all right. Suge was like, it's gonna be all right. Tell your kids it's gonna be all right. Tell your mom it's gonna be all right. Then he like slapped the shot of Puff again. Damn. He hit that nigga so hard and so fast, you ain't had time to react. I felt sorry for Puff.
Man.
Because he kept trying to explain that he was innocent, that he ain't had shit to do with this. He said, Suge, there you go, man. I ain't got shit to do with this, man.
He's like, what you mean you ain't got nothing to do with this?
He was like, it's gonna be all right, though, Suge. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Then I was like, you know what? This nigga dying. The ambulance is taking forever. I said, in Detroit, we gotta play. Let's throw this nigga in the car and take him to the hospital. It's right down the street. So load him up and take him. So we go to load up Jake, and the police drew down on us. I said, oh, y'all motherfuckers gonna draw down on us after we try to save a black man's life. But it's when the dude was shooting across the street, y'all ran. Y'all supposed to run to the action instead of running from the action, but y'all gonna draw us down on us after we tried to save this man's life.
They got bad. They broke bad.
So they made us wait for the ambulance to come. We waited. So it was like all of us while we was there. Then the 4 guys came. They were like the X-Clan, or I thought they were like
the X-Clan, man. It looked like them because they had the African, the African stuff. The
Glorious.
It looked just like the X-Clan.
They were like, yo, another black man shot dead in the streets. Is what they said. They jumped out, was like, and they walked up and they seen Suge, was like that. They seen Puff, was like, oh, they seen Dallas, they seen Jermaine. They were like, hey man, we trying to get to where y'all at, and y'all out these streets, and y'all trying to get to the streets where we at. Why every time we see y'all, we see death?
Every time we see y'all, we see nothing but death.
And we was like, oh snap, right? And then Suge kept going, it's gonna be all right, Suge.
They kept going back.
They was going back and forth.
It's gonna be all right.
Like, it's gonna be all right. Bitch. Right? And then the police was saying when they seen it with Suge and Puff, the police sent that ambulance around a second time, bro. Because they already took forever for it to get because it's like Freaknik traffic. And then they sent that shit around again. We're like, oh man, how y'all gonna do that shit?
Gonna miss the whole point, the whole
They let him bleed out. The police did. And then, so when Suge started arguing again, him and Puff, the guys was like, instead of y'all arguing with each other,
about it's gonna be all right,
why don't y'all pray for that black man laying down on the ground dead? We was like, oh, like everything stopped when he said that.
Yeah, he made you realize that, you know, you're not focusing.
We not focused. Nobody was focused. This black man is sitting here dripping, ticking away his life. And y'all over here arguing about some super decisions. So when we got a prayer circle, we all came together. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. It was like Dallas, Jermaine, Suge, Puff. V was giving him helping him. And you, Keith Murray, Short, me, Sean Canardi.
Yeah, Sean. Shout out to Sean.
Sean was there.
Can't leave Sean out.
And Wolf wasn't there.
Because Sean was holding Puff hand that night when we got in the circle. And then Puff, he had Sean hand, and then Suge had Puff hand. And the nigga said that this nigga was squeezing the shit out of Puff hand
so hard during the prayer.
Yeah.
He was, and the Lord
almost tried to break his fist.
He was trying to break him, man.
Yeah.
And the police were sitting there watching, waiting on them to get into it with each other so they can arrest him and try to lock him up. So we try to keep the peace, then we try to say the prayer for the brother. We say the prayer for dude, then the ambulance finally showed up.
Took him off.
Damn.
That was on a Friday night or Saturday? That was a Friday.
That was a Saturday.
Saturday,
September 23rd, 1995. I believe.
He's good with numbers, that Mark Curry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that day, like yesterday.
And this was our first introduction to the music business. We had never been in the music
business. We've been looking for these dudes wanting to meet them to do some record business with them. Like, damn, man, as soon as we meet y'all,
this nigga's dying.
Yeah,
shut up, our
When they accused Wolf of Big Jake murder, that's not true.
No.
Nope.
Wolf,
I could take
Wolf is a good guy, man. He ain't had shit to do with that shit.
No.
What happened was, them studio gangsters ran across real gangsters. They ran across that original Rude Boy. We knew it. It was like, ooh. The whole club was like, ooh, shut him down.
So yeah, because you know what people didn't understand is at the time, Puff kept some real thorough people around him. You understand? That's what made Puff the powerful person Puff was. But since this is the greatest show on earth, G, let him know.
Puff is the greatest gangster New York ever seen. He had the greatest run in the history of gangsters. Frank Lucas, all of them, they were 5 years, 6 year term. Puff 30 years. And he played by the book. And on this particular night, it was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. In particular, Jake. Because those guys ended up getting killed anyway.
Yeah.
They was real bank robbers and real drug dealers, real criminals. They didn't watch television.
Nah.
One of them got killed at Magic.
The one who did the shooting, when he came out, the one who actually shot Jake, he got killed at Magic City.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was that, like a week or so later?
Yeah, right after.
Right as soon as it happened, quick. And he got killed by off-duty police officer.
And so the karma came back real quick. What he did to old boy, it was terrible.
Well, most people thought that was a hit too, because you know they knew who he was. You know.
Yeah, but
shit, get away.
Puff kept saying the whole time, "I ain't got shit to do with this shit, man."
And he really didn't.
He was trying to explain it.
He really didn't. He just got thrown in the middle of that work.
That's funny. Puff is going through it right now. Body on his head. Let me see. I got some other shit I want to see too, but gotta get some kills, bro. Fuck, there's a truck right next to me. Oh, what the hell is that? As soon as I walked out, it was
Need
like
you to send a ranger on my marker.
bad idea.
Located hostile car.
My dog is here. Let's go.
Charlie is fallen. We are initiating an attack on Charlie 1.
Nobody's here to kill. My dog get him? Yeah.
Hooks in.
Fucking jet. Crazy. I didn't expect to see that.
Enemy soldier marked. 200 meters.
Damn, bro.
The enemy has been effective. They now control more
Fucking
sectors
mad,
now.
bro.
Tango marked.
Bravo 2 is one of our active targets.
Another one.
Hostile sighted. East.
Come on. Fucking dog. What the fuck? Is there more of them?
Objective captured and secured. New supply drop ready.
Damn! I was trying to detach, and then I think I reattached. I don't know. Fucking haven't done that in a while. Supposed to be able to detach, shoot them, or fly down, then shoot them, reattach, but the execution wasn't there. I was to say, can we get indoors?
We have taken more sectors than they have. Make sure we don't lose our advantage. We now have Sector Delta under our control.
Yeah, but we're losing by a lot.
Bravo 2 lost. We're no longer in control.
Grenade out!
An objective has fallen to the Russians.
Grenade for him!
Oh, I got somebody with
Got
us.
one! Stay back! I don't need a medic!
Got the boat. Holy shit, bro. They had to pull up and get me. Got them other motherfuckers though.
Those objectives.
Like the way that gun sound. I think it don't got no kick though without the goddamn. I mean, with the suppressor on it, it don't hit as hard. I mean. That's the only one? Yeah. Oh, I mean, Bushwick Bill? PUBG has polar bears in it now?
110 meters away. I need your assistance.
Damn, where the hell is he at? Oh. Couldn't see him. Charleston White got snuck up on yesterday. Everybody talking about that. Damn, look at this dude. Creeping. Alright, fuck it, we'll watch it then. I ain't want to, but fuck it, we're about
Just
to watch
lost
it.
Sector Bravo to the hostiles.
Alright, here we go.
We're gonna dive into the world of Aeon Flux. Hey everybody. Today, we're gonna dive into the world of Aeon Flux. Oh boy, are we about to go through a trip. It may very well be one of the most surreal shows ever made. The kind where you're just left thinking, what the heck did I just watch? We're talking about a world of NPC clones that are in a never-ending loop, secret societies, a world where everything is constantly under surveillance, hidden occult technologies, memory wiping, and even a cabbage utopia? It's honestly like a surreal, trippy dream. And I haven't really seen anyone break it down with an understanding of the occult and alternative history, which from that perspective, you can see how Aeon Flux is not just fiction, but perhaps it's a black mirror of our own world. We'll jump into the symbols, the hidden meanings, and all the mind-bending stuff that makes Aeon Flux a cult classic. And who knows, Maybe we'll see bits of our own world peeking through this surreal sci-fi legend. So with that, let's get started. Well, let's start off with the Aeon Flux movie, starring Charlize Theron. Now, if you've seen the reviews, you know that they weren't kind. Complete disaster is a phrase that's thrown around a lot. Personally, I didn't think it was all that bad, but I get the criticism, especially from fans of the original series. It missed a lot of what made the show iconic. Its surreal vibe, depth of the original story, and a lot of that either got changed or ditched entirely. Even Peter Chung, the mastermind behind the animated series, wasn't a fan, calling it a travesty that left him feeling sad and embarrassed. So yeah, it doesn't hold a candle to the series, but if you're coming in fresh with no expectations, it's a different story. If you're new to Aeon Flux, starting with the movie might actually be a good idea. The original series, with all its complexity and surrealism, can be a bit much to dive into head first. It's not always easy to follow or grasp what's happening, and so that's where the movie has its own niche. It's a more straightforward entry point to this universe, and despite its flaws, the movie still has its moments, especially when it comes to symbolism and hints of a potential future reality. It's intriguing to see how the filmmakers reinterpreted the source material. Sometimes, what they added or didn't could be pretty revealing about how they saw the original story. So what is it about? Well, the movie starts off by explaining that in 2011, a catastrophic disease kills 99% of the world's population. Scientist, Trevor Goodchild, develops a cure, and that there were only 5 million survivors who now live in Brenya, the last city on Earth. This Goodchild dynasty has ruled for the last 400 years, so this world takes place in the future in the year 2415. There's also a bunch of one-eye symbolism. I mean, even the poster shows the eye within a pyramid, but this is repeated throughout the Aeon Flux universe consistently. The most iconic shot being Aeon Flux catching a fly with their eyelashes. This fly is deeply symbolic as it is the layout for the city of Brenya, signifying that Aeon is attempting to capture this fly, a fly on the wall that listens to everything. This last city on Earth, Brenya, is contained within walls that are designed to protect the citizens and to keep nature out. Interestingly, we immediately find out that in this city, people are constantly disappearing, that the government denies these crimes. As I was saying, the city is the layout of a fly's head, and in the shot we can see that there is a dome over the city, which I found to be an interesting reference. The narration is really on the nose. Like right when it says trade freedom, showing the city under a dome, it continues, for a gilded cage, but there are rebels who refuse to make that trade. And then we see this eye symbolism again, which is no accident. It is a reference to secret societies, as we will see. There are rebels, or you could say brothers, that fight in the name of the disappearances, or a secret group that fights back the government. These are the Monnikins. In the movie, the Monnikins are a secret rebel group within the state of Brenya.
Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
All forces withdraw. We can't win this one.
My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. I'm back. I'm back. Alright, hold on. I'm back. Alright. I had to switch games real quick too. Back to that video though too.
Which is not how it is in the animated series. I'll talk about that later. But in the movie, they are like a secret group of assassins with advanced skills, or you could say superpowers, whether it is through technology or being trained. They are far more deadly than your average citizen. The Monokins pass secret messages through making out. Super trippy. It's basically an exchange of a pill, and once digested, a chemical is absorbed into the body that travels to the brain, forcing an out-of-body experience of some kind. This is extremely interesting because if you think about it, this is a real thing in real life. Literally, since ancient times, groups of people would get together, take drugs, and travel to the astral realm to conduct different rituals and meetings. Similar to the Witch Sabbath, it seems that this idea has been referenced here with the way that the Monokins communicate and receive assignments. Interestingly, this seems to be unique to the movie as there wasn't anything like this in the animated series. Notice how everything is white and angelic. This is not just some simulation or technological drug. It is most likely some type of special and theogenic drug specifically for the use of telepathic communications. There is a white bright light behind her, and she's wearing a white, almost completely translucent gown. She has come to communicate apparently in the spiritual realm with her handler to receive her next assignment. Now, Eon's mission is to take down the Good Child's central surveillance facility. Why? Because surveillance is their most powerful weapon. It's how they maintain control, keep tabs on everything and everyone. This is a hint of the invasive watchfulness that's suffocating their world. What I find interesting about this scene is it reminds me of a book I read where it is said that some advanced occultists possess the ability to be both an astral body and a physical body at the same time. Meaning, usually when one has an out-of-body experience, they're in a deep sleep or meditation, but some can do it in an instant while awake, even with the help of a psychedelic. This creates a dual state of consciousness, which is what is precisely shown in the movie as Eon is walking around the city. She receives her next goal. But at the same exact time, she is still in control of her other spiritual body, which is receiving or channeling this information from some other realm. This is what she must do in order to defeat the Good Child regime. She must destroy the All-Seeing Eye. Interestingly, they have these photos that are embedded into amber or an orange crystal of some kind. This man's daughter has gone missing. So many people going missing is one of the main themes of this movie. On the PA, we hear losing sleep, having bad dreams, visit our sleep center for help. So people are suffering from bad dreams? We find out that there's another girl in Eon's life, Una, which in the movie is Eon's sister, and she's shopping around preparing for dinner. I think the movie makes it kind of weird with Eon's need to constantly dress sexy for some reason. It's like, why do these Monokins have to dress sexy? I don't really get it. Especially if they're trying to be undercover. I mean, Eon sticks out like a sore thumb. Una wants a normal life. She wants to build a family. But Eon can't just ignore the problems of the society. They both know that something isn't right. Eon wants to do something about it, but Una rather ignore it all and make the best out of the situation. Eon can't make it to dinner because she has an assignment. The scene shifts to a dynamic break-in. She eliminates all the guards and infiltrates the facility. Inside, she doesn't find traditional screens. Instead, they're like puddles capturing memories or moments, indicating everything is being recorded and can be reviewed. This is confirmed when Eon sees her own recent conversation with Una, replayed through this advanced technology. It's a bit sci-fi. The recordings seem computer-generated and projected, as indicated when she damages the system and hears distortions in the alarm's voice. This suggests the existence of a sophisticated surveillance tech capable of capturing and replaying events without standard cameras. But at the same time, this very well could be an occult technology. This will be explored further in the animated series. The world of Aeon Flux is a mix between sci-fi and occult. This projection is coming from some type of ethereal cloud in the room. It could be something far more advanced. Next, we see Una preparing dinner, featuring dragon fruits among other items. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. In an unexpected and tragic turn, Una is shot. Upon returning, Eon discovers a covered body on a stretcher. Looking through the cloth, she is shocked to find out that it's Una. It's revealed that the Good Childs were responsible for Una's death, mistakenly believing her to be a Monacan. The film doesn't really dive deep into Eon's background, but it is established that she and Una were sisters who grew up together. In the next scene, Eon wakes up in her room, dressed in clothes that are noticeably scant, which seems unnecessary given their minimal coverage. Upon pouring water, it mysteriously turns black. Notably, Eon has an ear implant that beeps, indicating communication through some advanced biotechnology. She's informed that she needs to meet her handler. Interestingly, Eon doesn't consume any drugs this time. It's unclear if the transformation of the water or even black goo is related to this. Regardless, she appears to travel mentally, perhaps telepathically, to receive her next mission from her superior. Now the focus shifts to Eon's next mission, a direct confrontation with Goodchild. This assignment becomes personal as they are responsible for the death of Una, her sister. Eon is fueled by a desire for justice for Una, but her handler, the red-haired lady, reminds her that their cause is bigger than personal vendettas, hinting at a more complex underlying strategy at play. And then it gets pretty surreal. The handler produces a rose from her mouth, its petals releasing spores. Eon absorbs these through her skin, suggesting another form of advanced biotechnology. This also raises questions about the nature of their interaction. If it's all part of a dreamlike state, how does this physical transfer of items, like the rose spores, actually function? So this scene blurs the line between dream and reality, with Eon seemingly bringing back a tangible element from what seems to be an alternate dimension. Eon says, "What is this stuff?" The handler says, "We've implanted a root for you." So she gets some type of bio tattoo which will lead her to Goodchild. Then we meet Sathandra, which is that chick with the hands on her feet. Kind of weird, and really one of the most memorable parts of the movie from when I first watched it when I was younger. Well, these are modifications. So they have futuristic grafting in which they can combine different body parts, kind of like Dr. Moreau. So we get another awesome break-in, a bunch of flips and some weird plant pod guns. This part's pretty crazy with the blades of grass and the parkour. Another pretty iconic scene that I'm sure lots of you who've seen the movie will remember vividly. Eon finally reaches the council, and we're shown this 3D rendering of what seems to be a factory. It's super clean, not at all like what we're used to seeing in the show. It's more of this perfect utopia vibe. Now, the council's in a debate about the Monacans. One guy's pushing for leniency, but another's just shutting it down, saying that he wants there to be no hope for the Monacans. And then there's Trevor Goodchild, cool as ever, saying that they can't take anything personally. Maybe it's more like they can't show any emotion. The Goodchilds are walking off and talking about some work, so Trevor seems to be working on something as he asks about some test results. They were all negative. Looks like he needs a new test group. Is this tied to the people who've been going missing? He's pretty intense about it, saying, "You see what's happening to people. We know how desperate this has become." But his brother, he's on a different page. He thinks that all this can be contained, controlled. This whole setup was supposed to be just a temporary thing, right? Trevor's brother, he's seeing it as a utopia, questioning, why does it have to be temporary? Trevor Goodchild, though, he's firm, saying, because it's wrong. Eon gets a headset from the guard and heads to a theater room. Trevor is here talking to himself, and he's speaking about those who would destroy what they've built, referring to the Monakins as dividers. He emphasizes their identity as the last survivors of a once widespread civilization, urging remembrance of past struggles and survival. In a face-to-face encounter with Trevor, Eon hesitates to shoot. Trevor, recognizing her, calls her Catherine, and we see a flashback of them kissing, suggesting a deeper, previously unexplored connection. Confused, Eon then is suddenly knocked out. When she awakens, she finds herself in a cell, with Trevor coming to talk to her. It's clear Trevor knows her, but Eon seems to only recall the name Catherine, indicating she might have been conditioned with a singular goal: assassinate Trevor, leading to her capture. After their encounter, Trevor, puzzled but visibly pleased to see her, exits the cell. Eon notices a cement block sliding around to reveal water. Utilizing what seems to be black contact lens technology, she checks the water for drugs and finds them present. She extracts a water sample with a dropper hidden in her shoe and whistles, calling for these small balls that she previously dropped. These balls then explode, creating an escape route. In the ensuing chaos, Eon beats up some more guards. She then receives a call from Sithandra, leading to confusion over their intel on Goodchild. Eon begins to suspect that their information might be incorrect. Meanwhile, Cancel's in turmoil, criticizing the need for stricter security and accusing Trevor of having a secret agenda. Oren says he will talk to Trevor and is seen in a covert discussion with a woman. Oren is mad and the lady is saying Eon has never failed. Oren wanted this done cleanly. Wanted what done cleanly? Does he have something to do with this? This conversation reveals more about the complex plot. Oren is a part of a scheme controlling the Monakins indirectly. It's hard to catch at this point because the movie's so surreal, but this is who's controlling the red-headed handler. Oren tells this chick when his brother will be vulnerable next, and this message is passed down a chain of people until it meets another Monakin that passes the message to the Red Lady. So wait, Oren, Trevor's brother, is in control of the Monakins? The plot thickens as it is revealed that the Monakins are unaware that they're being manipulated, used as pawns in a larger game. So this is done in secret to manipulate another secret order of assassins to do their bidding. In this case, kill Trevor Goodchild. But Oren's reviewing surveillance and sees Eon's face and starts to recognize her. The scene then shifts to a greenhouse where Claudius, Una's partner, is tending to plants. Eon visits him there, and Claudius expresses his belief that Una's death was not Trevor's fault, and suggests that Trevor is actually trying to resolve a larger issue. He shares with Eon that something's amiss with everyone, all plagued by bad dreams, which are like memories of events that they never experienced. Claudius further reveals that his work is just a fraction of Trevor's larger project. They're examining the growth outside the wall, hinting at a significant experiment linked to the aftermath of curing the industrial disease. He implies that this cure led to another unforeseen problem, sickness now affecting everyone. Trevor's trying to cure everybody, which the movie tries to portray Trevor Goodchild as this good guy, which is drastically different from the animated series. Eon gives the drug from the water that she got from her prison cell to Claudius, and he tells her that this is a secret message. You need to take it. It's not poison. So she goes home and takes the drug, and she receives some type of mental telepathic message, different from last time because there's this harsh tone going on, so it could be biotech, but it's causing her pain. Trevor's message states that it's not safe to talk in the open, and emphasizes nothing is as it seems. He says, "Why do you hesitate? You know where to find me. I as she starts to get back some blurry memories. The message prompts Eon to recall some of these blurry memories. She runs directly to Trevor and they meet again. Trevor reveals his unawareness of Una's death and expresses that everything changed when he saw Eon. But Eon still doesn't understand. Why does she know Trevor Goodchild? She gets up on his face demanding for her sister back, as if they were going to kiss, and then she starts having another blurry memory. We get some tension here and it gets pretty steamy, but once she wakes up she's like, wait, what's going on?
He's like,
And
what?
starts trying to kill Trevor again in the bed. So she chokes Trevor out, and it appears that she kills him or he passes out. She sees a ring on the floor and reaches for it, uncovering a secret passage with stairs going down. Eon enters a hidden library full of old books, some appearing to be from the 19th century, considering the current year is 2415. These books are relics from a past era. He finds a circular passage marked with a downward pointing pentagram, which opens to a tunnel, but she doesn't go in. Distracted by the sound of a whirring device, she notices another circular passage with a rose petal or an upward pointing pentagram. Eon picks up this device with hanging straps, which activates and attaches to her body. This device reveals the true nature of the room, hinting that it could be a hologram. She then enters a new room, a laboratory, because it wasn't just a hologram. It was a hologram, and even though she'd be walking the library, she wouldn't be in the same exact 3D space, and wouldn't be able to interact in the same way, as the lab has an entirely different layout. So this must be some tech that can transport her body into another physical location. This doesn't seem to be just spiritual, as it's a lab for experiments. This is what the plants on the outside were being studied for. In the lab, Eon finds a recording device. It plays a message from Trevor, indicating something crucial is missing. He mentions variables that affected the test groups and expresses concern about people questioning recent events and the need for a relical visit about 7B. While exploring, Eon stumbles upon a photograph. Upon inspection, she realizes it's a picture of herself. Pressing a button on her strapped device, she returns to the library, confirming it's not just a hologram. Suddenly, she's confronted by a council member who attempts to shoot her. After a brief fight, Eon can't subdue her assailant and leaps into the pentagram-marked tunnel, escaping through typical underground passages. Meanwhile, it's revealed that Trevor's still alive, merely unconscious from being choked out by Eon. The next scene's pretty bizarre. The council members, except for Trevor, are watching a recording of him and Eon during an intimate moment. Oren seizes this opportunity to sway the council against Trevor, painting him as a traitor for being involved with the Monacan. It's revealed that if Trevor is ousted, Oren stands to gain his position. Meanwhile, Eon stands atop the wall, contemplating the unfolding events. The ongoing recording mentions 7B, a group of individuals, and, as their names are listed, a device on a rail is shown scanning the plants outside the wall. One of the names listed is Una Flux. Eon listens to the recording again, catching a reference to scheduling a relical visit. As she's processing this, she looks up to see a strange, futuristic blimp in the sky.
Oh shit, look who it is.
It has an orange translucent
What's
glow,
up?
with fabric strands resembling tentacles hanging from its underside, giving it an almost alien jellyfish appearance. The recording suggests that Trevor is requesting additional samples from Relical Strands 5.88. This seems to indicate a request for DNA samples of the individuals listed, including Una. Sathandra confronts Eon, confused about why she hasn't killed Goodchild yet. Eon, however, is no longer just following orders. She's going down the rabbit hole and realizing that this world isn't what she thought it was. Something insane's going on and she's gonna get to the bottom of it. This complexity is something Sathandra, despite being a trained assassin, can't fully grasp. She's inclined to eliminate Eon for deviating from her mission, but Eon, sensing a shared uncertainty in Sathandra, confronts her asking, "You feel it too, don't you?" Before Sathandra can react, Eon roundhouse kicks her in the face, and after a tense struggle, Eon manages to subdue and tie up Sathandra, making a pretty sus comment. Eon then focuses on the mysterious flying blimp in the sky, intent on discovering its secrets.
Damn.
He climbs to the top of a light tower to get closer,
I haven't
but finds the
used
blimp's
them for the
exterior
other
too
stuff.
hard to grapple onto.
I was gonna
He
mix
then
the
leaps onto the
grids with the rest of the stuff in the background. I just haven't thought about it. I was talking to my dad about it a little bit today, but I still haven't. I'm gonna probably fuck around with it later tonight or something. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to use it, but it's similar to what's going on right now in the background. Holy shit, my dude ain't got no fucking energy. But yeah, similar to the shit in the background. And this shit's at 2 hours about Eon Flux.
Hanging tentacles and begins her ascent,
It's a good movie though.
determined to find out what lies within. Eon makes her way through a hole into an orange terraced room adorned with hanging strings. A female computerized voice echoes through the space,
Oh, let me
reciting
show you,
various
though.
number
Let me show you,
codes and announcing, "Noted, return."
Oh shit. I was about to say he about to make it, but nah, like it's fucking I was telling my dad, ooh. Wow, whatever. Alright, I was telling my dad like this. No, do they even have it on here? No, that's not what I was trying to do. Oh, that's not it. Oh, there, is it right there? Yeah, right here. Oh man, that's not what I want. Fucking had it, but over here, listen up. Go. Well, basically, yeah, the Star Trek holodeck. Huh. Oh, that's fucked up. He still got it though. Whatever. But you can. Let's see. Basically like that. The Star Trek holodeck. Name a car for an edit. I don't know. Anything Ferrari. Ferraris are cool cars. Oh, my dude's tired. But yeah, the holodeck in Star Trek. That's where I got the idea from. So I'm still. I might even make one without it transparent too, just so I can like transition them in and out and make shit disappear. But yeah, or at least some parts of it disappear. Oh yeah, let me see. I also talk very low, but I gotta fucking set it up, right? Hold on. Bam. Fuck, alright. Let me see. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm about to. There you go. I raised it up a little bit. Alright. Like I said though, it's just certain games and certain shit I'll be louder and you know what I mean? Especially like in Battlefield, I'll be louder, but a lot of times I'll just be sitting on here chilling, so I'll be having it low. Yeah, the holodeck is the idea. Well, the concept started here, I guess. Because I used to watch Star Trek a lot when I was a kid. And I like even the like theory that the whole show was just in the holodeck. Because the first episode started in the holodeck. And then the last episode ended in the holodeck. So the whole TV series possibly could have been just in the holodeck, just fucking around. Oh yeah, I still gotta do some thinking when it comes to like what exactly I was gonna use it for, but I wanted it to be something I don't know, something cool in the background for like maybe specific videos and topics. Damn. But yeah, there's more to it as well, but damn, look at that. It basically goes to all the shit that I show on this channel, period. But yeah. This one? Oh, it's this one.
Stream. The strings from the ceiling are part of a high-tech display system, suggesting the presence of an advanced computer or even a form of super artificial intelligence. As Eon explores, she notices movement. An old man appears, greeting her with a
picture.
"Welcome back." But he disappears? Was he a hologram? Or did he teleport like Eon did earlier in the lab? Curious, Eon approaches and touches the strings, which respond with a musical tone. She utters Una Flux, prompting the computer to display DNA information for Una Flux. In a startling revelation, the computer informs her that Una Flux has been reassigned as Sasha Prillo. Confused by this baffling statement, Eon presses for further information, requesting the address of this Sasha Prillo. In an unexpected turn,
Creepy as art.
Sathandra, still tied up, manages to activate the telepathic drug. She communicates with the red-headed handler, revealing that Goodchild is still alive because Eon spared him. She
Damn.
hints at this personal connection between Eon and Goodchild, though the full extent of it still remains unclear. Eon, now labeled a fugitive by the Monachans, is on the run from both her former allies and her enemies. Simultaneously, the Council targets Trevor, arriving at his house only to find it empty. Trevor is aboard the DNA blimp, engaged in a conversation with the old man. The old man informs him that Eon's visit was in search of her sister Una. Trevor, intrigued, asks the computer to display information about Group 7B, which is revealed to be a collection of DNA sets. As Eon searches for Sasha Prillo, believing Una might still be alive, Trevor learns from the computer about the demise of the 7B group, all killed in police actions. But Eon is shocked to find out that Sasha Prillo, the person that her sister Una was reassigned to, is a newborn baby. The baby is shown as we find out that Una was indeed killed. So what does reassigned mean? The baby has the same eyes as Una, hinting to a deeper symbolism with the eyes, signifying that they are the seed of the soul and that they pass through death as the individual is transferred into a new body. She has been cloned and born again. While Trevor is asking the computer who killed these people in 7B,
Shit's fast.
it was Oren Goodchild. So Oren did this because these people in 7B had something to do with Trevor's experiments. Eon is holding Una, and Trevor has come to explain what's going on. This is when it gets crazy. But apparently, Eon knows what cloning is, and Trevor says that he cloned everyone. He says that there was a complication when they were trying to cure the industrial disease. The cure, or the you-know-what, had unintended side effects. It led to sterility, and the humans could no longer
sterile.
reproduce on their own. There was only one generation left to live, and we get flashbacks to when this was all happening, and it appears to be from our age, which also ties us to a possible reality. Trevor was a doctor, and we get a flashback where he's saying that it's our responsibility to save mankind. Then we get this whole backstory on how his solution to fix humankind from dying out was because of cloning. He says that it was never done on humans successfully, but that at some point, they eventually succeeded. Now, when someone dies, their DNA is
give and
collected
go.
and reused, meaning they can take samples of your DNA coming from really any small portion of someone's body, and then they're able to grow an embryo from that DNA alone, similar to stem cell
That's
research,
it.
which is being done in the modern day. It's simply a matter of ethics that we're not told about these things. There are laws in place that prohibit these experiments to take place on the surface. However, that doesn't mean there aren't
Nobody
underground
cares.
projects occurring. These things are not just
Right.
based on fantasy or sci-fi. They're based on real-world concepts. But they add a little bit of the sci-fi element in there so that it seems futuristic. So we find out that Oren and Trevor built the relical to store the DNA on this flying jellyfish craft. Why did they do this? Because they
Like a
wanted to
blimp.
conceal the cloning process, meaning literally to keep this whole thing a secret. Which goes to show how big of a deal this really would be if it's being done in the real world today, right? The old man in the weird suit is the keeper. And this is strange. So apparently, they're tricking
this is
people into
strange.
thinking that their clones are their own babies. I mean, this is kind of suspicious for anyone to even think of a
Nobody
concept
knows
like
that
this,
they're
but
clones.
the way it works is that the keeper finds a suitable couple, and then they give the couple food additives, so drugs in their food that induce a chemical pregnancy. This is weird because it would mean they're watching all the time, and when a couple has sex, they're aware of it and slip drugs in their food that makes them get pregnant. This is where it's pretty messed up. The couple will then come in for an exam, and the doctors will then implant the cloned embryo secretly unknown to the patient that they created from the DNA of the cloned individual. So it's not the parent's baby. And then they show this video which seems to be depicting IVF. Trevor says from there, things happen naturally, which is not how it is in the original show at all, but okay. So people are having these babies, but they are citizens who just died, and then they are reborn with the exact same DNA, a loop, an exact copy of who they were before. This is the only way to survive according to Trevor, which is pretty nuts. For 7 generations, Oren and Trevor have been cloning themselves, but here's the thing. They actually reteach themselves so that they could eventually find a cure for the sterility, so that we could all live on. Eon's like, what? So we're all just copies? Trevor's like, no, we're more than that. We weren't
We're all just
supposed to make this
copies?
permanent. Which goes back to the Trevor and Oren conversation at the beginning. Oren wants to stay in this fake utopia where people are just cloned and they have no memories of what happened. So they are all lied to and kept inside a wall where individuals recycle. But remember, they're all sick, controlled, and live in an Orwellian surveillance society.
Orwell.
Well, Trevor is
shit.
trying to fix this and tells Eon that Una was in his test group. She was killed because she was pregnant, and Oren doesn't want the infertility to be cured. He wants this to keep going so that he'll rule forever, essentially. Trevor says that Una's baby
Dang.
would have been one of the first new children born in 400 years. They both realize Oren's true intentions. He wants to be immortal.
Hey, let me get that. Oh, come on.
Well, soldiers come for Eon and Trevor, and they make their escape. Eventually, they make their way to a subway after being chased, and then eventually have to hide in some tunnels while Eon
Hey,
pulls a
it's
bunch
up,
of
bro.
bullets out of Trevor with her hand. They're planning to escape and go outside the wall, but Trevor has to go back to his lab to get some notes. But they get some guns, and then they go through these underground tunnels to
get
get
some
back to the
guns.
Citadel. This is when Trevor tells Eon that her name Catherine is from when she was his wife.
Got him.
He died from the industrial disease, and he says that every time he cloned himself, he taught his new clone about her. So there must not be a full memory transfer, but apparently through learning from his clones, perhaps he's able to access his clone's ancestral memories in a way, and so that's how he knows her. He actually remembers
Indeed.
her. Their memories pass through death. She says that they were different people. And we find this memory transfer to be true because as they speak about this, the memories begin to rush in and she actually remembers her past life. They are no longer blurry memories. The next scene is the Monakins trying to find Eon, and they can trace her as long as she has this pill inside her, so they have some type of GPS on her.
GPS.
Well, it starts to get smoky
And a
in the
pill.
tunnels, and bits of paper are falling down. So they're burning down Trevor's lab. Orin destroyed it because he knows that Trevor has found a cure. Eon is like, before we go outside the wall, I'm gonna go destroy the Relical or that flying blimp thing because she doesn't really care
Flying
if Trevor can
blimp
find
thing.
the cure again. This cloning stuff has to stop.
When am I playing League?
Their
I'm
minds
still
are
trying to
basically
work on this
breaking
player.
because every time they clone a person,
This
it just
player is like almost done though. But I don't know. League is so hard for me to play. Last time I played, I just drove around and accomplished very little for like an hour. So, but I do have it downloaded. Ooh, that's a cool picture. Pretty cool art. But yeah, I'm not sure. I do have it downloaded. Look, look, look. Take a look. It's right there. I do have it downloaded though. Oh yeah, and I turned up the mic. It was definitely low. But like I said, now I got some things to work out because I could potentially peak right now. So, but it's definitely louder. But nevertheless, I'm just listening to this shit.
worse and worse.
There's always
Getting, like-
something else. I don't know. I was playing Battlefield a minute ago, but that shit's kind of, I don't know. They added a lot of shit to it, and I was just playing it. It seemed like a lot of bots. I wasn't playing the new map, though, so that's probably one of the issues. I probably should have played the new map, but nah, I don't know. I played Julio in 2K. What? Hold on. Fuck, did I just do that? Yeah, no, that wasn't me. I played Julio in 2K when I was in motherfucking Orlando. I know, right? Battlefield is fucking crazy. I usually just go in there solo and play for like an hour and just try to... At this point in games, since I don't have that much time, I just try to progress. Like right now, this player, I think he's like a 96 or a 7. I'm just trying to get him to a 99. You used to be able to get these players to 99 and like make more, like multiple players, 3. But I bought this game, I don't even know when, October, and I still haven't got this player to 99. So I'm just like, when I get spare time, because once I get him to 99, then I don't. Only time I play is when I play Rec, which I don't play that much, but I'll definitely play it more. I could play. Oh, I could play single player Rec, just walk in there by myself. Once I get him to 99, but even then I could play now. I don't know. I don't know what games, bro. I got League Pass or Game Pass Ultimate or whatever too. Ooh. Bro, my fucking foot fell asleep. I hate when that shit happens. Oh. Damn, too easy. But yeah, this dude is not a dunker or a layup guy. He's not an inside guy. He's just like a mid-range guy. He's not even a three-pointer, so I gotta shoot threes kind of close. And can't really go to the rim. But yeah, I don't got no PC games. Like I don't have a Steam account or anything. Oh God, I got him. And then they did this while I did that too. Like, sheesh. Oh, they missed it. Maybe missed it. That's crazy. But nah, yeah, I don't have a Steam account, which I probably should. Hook up my laptop and play all this shit through my laptop, and still stream through the PC or the desktop. Just play the games through my laptop, because they both got the same graphics card. Do all the streaming through the PC. Oh shit. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, we used to play Rainbow too a lot, me and the homies and shit, but never really was that good at that game either. But yeah, I'll fuck around on. I need to finish Red Dead. That's another game that I got. Holy shit, how did I miss that, bro? Alright, hold on, let me get it again. I don't remember how I did this shit earlier. Is it like that? Yeah, it is. Alright. Yeah, is there any games that we could be on the same team? You know what I mean? As well. Oh. That'd be cool. I just like Battlefield because it's so much of a like spectacle and shit. Like you get on, and it's like tanks, jets, fucking. Damn, that's what I've been trying to do. I finally figured it out. It took me this long. What the fuck? But yeah, jets, tanks, everything. It's fucking crazy loud too. It's like a movie. Matter of fact, I need to finish watching the fucking Native American movie I was watching last night. Oh shit. Holy bruh. Oh. I can make it. But I didn't. But yeah. I don't know. I'm not that competitive anymore at video games. I want to just chill. There's this one video game that I want to play. Flight Simulator. And like Sims and shit. But those games I feel like take a lot of time to play. And at the moment, I don't have that much time.
This is torture. They're just ghosts. Eon is about to shoot the DNA arc, and then the council show up with Orin. Well, Orin tells them that it's much deeper than just his cure, that there are people having natural births outside of his experiments, and it's happening more often.
Oh, yeah,
Orin has been keeping this a secret. There's some type of natural cure that is occurring. People are healing themselves. Orin understands the situation that his brother has created. He sees a beauty that his brother, the doctor, can't see. He created an Orwellian state that can be completely controlled. A tyranny in which individuals are recycled as clones. And anyone who gets pregnant naturally will be killed in order to keep this cycle infinite. And Orin's rule at the top as a dictator.
There we go.
Well, we find out that Orin, behind Trevor's back, told him that his wife Catherine was gone at the beginning of all this back when the disease was happening. But what he did was order that her DNA be destroyed. He did this because he thought Trevor was soft with her and he wasn't capable of creating this empire that Orin envisions. Seems like a plot hole, so Orin knew back then what was about to happen. But as Orin is talking to them, there are some Monacan snipers ready to kill Eon, and one of them is Sathandra. Eon touches something on her back, which stimulates this telepathic, otherworldly conversation with Sathandra. So Sathandra ends up helping them out and shoots Orin instead, going against her orders, and then they all start fighting. Eon eventually kills Orin and then makes her way to destroy the relical where she meets with the Keeper, who saved her from being destroyed. The old man was there at the beginning, and he knew that Catherine needed to be saved. So Eon destroys the ship and then survives her fall after flying over the city, and the ship runs into the wall, breaking it open so that everyone is free to leave. They're going out into the jungle after 400 years, so it's probably pretty crazy out there.
Right.
Then the movie ends and we get to see what she looked like from our time, before all of this happened. Now, I honestly don't think the movie is that bad, but there are some significant changes from the animated series. They added Orin and made Trevor seem like a good guy, which is not the case in the anime. Also, the whole cure thing, and Trevor saving everyone is not really in the show. Trevor is more like a mad scientist in the cartoon, constantly starting new projects and experiments, some of them being very questionable. Also, Una is not Eon's sister. Not sure why they did that. The entire setting of the city isn't right either. It's very futuristic and clean. While in the show, it's kind of more apocalyptic feeling, or some of the buildings are more worn down and falling apart in some instances. But here's what they did capture. Or it's what they added, really. You'll have to watch it because I'm leaving some words out, but essentially there was a disease, then a cure was provided,
Like COVID?
and it was this cure that caused sterility in mankind.
Damn.
So, in summary, the movie's about an Orwellian state with all-seeing eye technology in which every citizen is watched constantly, while this group of Monachans, which in the movie they're a part of Brenya, which doesn't make too much sense, but this group of secret assassins are trying to take down this dictatorship. But little do they know that Trevor is the good guy apparently. He cloned everyone to save mankind. Now he's trying to fix the issue that he created in the first place?
Oh.
Very strange, especially the otherworldly aspects in which they communicate. If you thought that was weird, the movie doesn't even come close to the strangeness and surreal vibe that's captured by the anime. I mean, it's so weird you literally can't even process it if you're just sitting watching. It's gonna put you in a trance, which is exactly what they were trying to do. The original animation series was part of MTV's Liquid Television, which was supposed to be a segment where they show young adult cartoons, but like the acid version of it, which was pretty unique for its time. They wanted it to feel like you were on LSD, and many of the shows definitely captured that feeling. But I would argue, Aeon Flux did it better than any other show, due to its mixing of occult, sci-fi, and conspiracy concepts. It very well could be the most intellectually advanced show ever to be aired on MTV. Apparently the reason it could be played on MTV is because the higher-ups didn't even notice many of the subtle secret sexual references, and so they passed it through because I honestly don't even know if that would fly today. It's pretty explicit. The mastermind behind the anime was Peter Chung, who was actually working on the Rugrats before this. It seems that he was inspired by H.R. Geiger. I haven't heard him mention this, but if you look at his early drawings, you can see it pretty clearly, merging the organic with sci-fi tech. Peter was commissioned to create a spy cartoon, and to everyone's surprise, exceeded anything that MTV could have ever imagined. He says that he was inspired by Dashiell Hammett, who is regarded as one of the best mystery story writers of all time. Peter Chung has a huge list of achievements. He's actually a big inspiration for me. He even worked on the Animatrix and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now let's break down the anime because it's pretty insane. Like I said, it's very trance-inducing. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend watching it first, but some of you might not be into that because it's overly sexual and kind of violent. Well, the pilot is the most graphic, but it's not that bad after that. So it's up to you because I'm about to break down all the craziest and surreal moments while highlighting much of the symbolism. There are only 10 episodes, so let's start with the first one. Well, there is season 2 in the pilot, but we're just going to cover season 3. The first episode is titled Utopia or Deuteranopia. Well, we get introduced to Trevor Goodchild, and he just recently stole the throne and is the ruler of Brenya. The previous leader, Clavius, has gone missing. Things are never what they seem. And it's really weird. Goodchild is like, I will hide nothing, and just like flashes everyone in the city. Well, this lady is impressed, but then tries to assassinate him. Goodchild says, nothing is sacred, nothing is secret. And then we see this surveillance device, which shows that these do hint towards one-eye symbolism in masonry. It was in the movie too, they were just more subtle with it. These cameras have a square and compass to hint towards secret societies. Yildamir, his assistant or something, notices Goodchild drop an envelope and then secretly grabs it to find out what's going on. So far it seems that this Trevor Goodchild is a complete weirdo. There's no getting around that. It seems that Trevor has clones of himself. He turns his bed over so that he can get into a secret lab unnoticed, and some clone or fake version of himself stays in the bed so that the cameras don't notice anything. This is when your brain starts to melt. So he goes to his lab and he literally opens up Clavius' stomach as an entrance portal opens and he goes through an intestine tunnel where he walks into this secret lair. This is like some kind of romantic love room or something. I'm not sure, but he keeps a dress in here and he really wants Aeon Flux. he loves her or desires her greatly. I'm telling you, this show is sexual for no reason, like weird fetish stuff that just makes you be like, why?
Right?
Well, there's this weird item that Goodchild has that's also at the beginning of the show. It's kind of like an aimer or crosshair artifact made out of metal with a strap. They also have the same strap teleport device thing that transfers them to a new location or reveals a new location. Not exactly sure how that works, but it doesn't seem to be a hologram. Multiple times in this episode, I guess Eon likes making Trevor watch her get intimate with other guys, so that's different from the movie. She's not like, oh my god, I know you. It's more like, let me torture you for some reason. She also has one of those chastity lock belts, and she and this Gildemir guy keep going at each other in front of Trevor. The whole going through Clavius thing is just so weird. Like, it's next level surreal, and the soundtrack is just hypnotizing. But yeah, Trevor and Eon meet up in this weird intestine romantic hideout, and it seems they were like working together. I don't know, they have a weird relationship. She knows about this hidden room, and she knows about the artifact, so kinda strange. She says that Gildemir is the problem. Not sure why everyone is naked in the future, but we get some more of that.
Rising
Interestingly,
naked.
Gildemir references the mile-high jellyfish. I'm guessing he's talking about the relical, but they never really elaborate on that. He asks Clavius if that's the upper house of parliament. Clavius says no. Gildemir was trying to set Clavius free, but then he realizes he's like insane. He's asking about the Flying Saucermen, and Clavius says some pretty wild stuff. The Flying Saucermen are Narzak, Area 66, a global empire. So 66 symbolism? The orbital jellyfish is to be deployed. Next is the expulsion of all foreign particles. Not exactly sure what he's talking about. But Clavius wants to do something pretty drastic, and so Gildemir unplugs the cable connected to him. Well, Eon shows up, and Gildemir tries to kill her because he realizes she's like in on all this. But Eon beats him up and then bags him to throw him away. Weirdly, Trevor's like constantly trying to force Eon to be his wife, and they think that Eon has Clavius, the last leader who is supposed to be missing. Well, it's Gildemir, and he doesn't understand what the artifact actually does, trying to say that it has to do with Clavius. Eon grabs the artifact, and it's actually just a key for her chastity belt, so I guess Trevor put a key on her so that only he can activate it. Pretty weird. So they do have a very strange relationship. So he uses the key for the belt and for opening Clavius. The key is the way to Eon Flux, inside Clavius' stomach on some alternate dimension. Next episode is Isthmus Crypticus.
Damn.
What I like is that at the beginning of every episode, there's some icon or picture, and it's essentially one of the main symbols of the story for the episode. This time it's some weird hornet or bug artifact with a stinger. This is actually a really cool episode. Trevor Goodchild is obsessed with keeping an exquisite being which he keeps locked away in a secret chamber. The new guy, Ilbrin, is like some pan-looking character with jumpy leg springs. So he has these socks with eggs that turn into mechanical hornets. This is pretty weird. So Eon Flux comes to get something that was made for Trevor's pleasure, and it's this video of Trevor mating with an alien or some weird half-bird thing. Yeah, it's some creature. He wants Eon to get this bird hybrid. Seems like he's sexually into this alien creature. He offers money, but she snatches this feather in a vial, and Ilbrin calls her an anarchist. Eon doesn't want to do it because she thinks the creature isn't in love with him. But he's like, wait, we can still do business. There's another Seraph Trev, which is the name of their species. He says there's a male one, so perhaps he doesn't want it just for sexual or love matters. But Eon refuses, and this guy projects his suitcase because it's also a projector, and tries to hypnotize Eon Flux, it seems. But out of nowhere, some security machine comes out from the ground. It looks like a large tentacle with a beak. It has the same eye as the camera, so it's a part of surveillance. Ilbrin lets out some hornets to fight the tentacle, and they make their escape. So Trevor Goodchild was watching everything, and he tells these guys to stick her in the Steno pool. So now we meet a new brunette. This is Una, and some boys are trying to get a bird that just ran into her window. He then looks at a photo of her boyfriend. The kids shot it down, and the bird actually has a message on it. It was a picture of a male hybrid bird human being. I don't think they're actually aliens. It must be her old boyfriend that she was looking at in the photo before the bird hit, or perhaps it's connected. This birdman is tied up and being kept prisoner. Well, Eon barges in, and we find out this new girl Una is a Monacan agent, and Eon seems to be giving her a new assignment. I'm not sure, but there's this weird joke. They may have had a sexual past, so the Monacans all get it on with each other or something. Well, Una is being conscripted. She has a note with alien text on it and wants Una to translate it. Apparently she has a thing for foreign tongues. So Trevor has two of these beings trapped, one female, one male. And during this shot, the music track is just epic. Some weird siren and fantasy sounds with screaming. It's pretty insane, not gonna lie. So Eon and Una go driving, and Una's like hallucinating out the window. Seems that Trevor wants to be a bird person or something. Eon has a document that shows where the location is of the Seraph Trev. So Eon and Una are in some pipes trying to enter the facility, and the foreign text is directions to how to get in there, instructions to get to the prisoners. Ilbrin comes and knocks Trevor out, and there's this bird that's flying around hinting at freedom. Eon arrives and is trying to release the Seraph Trev, but Una turns on a radio signal which hurts Eon and she gets disabled. Well, Ilbrin is trying to release the girl bird hybrid, and Una is releasing the male. Then Una and Eon start fighting because Una wants to be with this bird creature. Ilbrin saves the girl Seraph Trev, and then she does this really weird smile. Ilbrin tells her that he won't harm her, but something happens to where one of his mechanical hornets stings and kills this female bird creature. Really sad, I really liked her. Then Ilbrin gets shot by Trevor, and now Una takes off with the male bird. Eon makes fun of Trevor's suit, then kisses him but says some people aren't meant to be together. Then we get this epic shot of the Birdman flying with Una wrapped around him.
Birdman.
But strangely, there's this part that is never really expanded upon. This bird creature has a red tick in his feathers that bites Una, and that's the last shot. She gets infected or something. This hints that she's gonna meet the same fate as the female Seraph Trev. The next episode is Thanatophobia. Okay, so we get more info about the Monacans here. The intro says, a heavily armed border wall separates the nations of Brenya and Monica, yet many Breens seek to escape the mysterious designs of Trevor Goodchild. What's strange is that the streets have this zipper, which is very DMT-like, where Eon's vehicle can interact with lower levels or she can gain access to her car. They do this many times, kind of trippy. Eon keeps repeating, ready if I want it now, danger boy. Well, some guy's talking to Goodchild calling him soft, that the border control needs to be even more strict, he says. Then he says the men at the club have noticed while holding a triangle with his hands. So these people are talking about how in Monica there are no rulers and that's why Goodchild hates them? No head of state to negotiate with. So in this episode, a couple's trying to escape Brenya, and the lady gets captured. Her name's Sybil, and she has a credibility gap. Her spine is split in half, and she has been conscripted. So Sybil's like super flexible now, because she's missing part of her back. Well, the radio is saying that these bomb-like devices are Monacan, bombs that Aeon set up in the warehouse. And they're blowing up some plant with these orange triangle devices that have a snake logo on it.
Tonight.
Apparently, Eon crosses the border all the time. She doesn't live in Brenya. And now the girl Sybil is trapped in Brenya while her partner
I gotta
has
watch
escaped.
Eon Flux again as well.
Well, Trevor Goodchild has come to see Sybil, and this is really weird. So Trevor starts pleasuring her through surgery? I honestly don't know how to describe it. It's just too weird. And then on top of that, Eon Flux is like doing some stuff with her partner and he's in this suit for some reason. So it seems that Eon basically rapes him and forces him to have sex under police action. So who are these
Yeesh.
Bonnikins and why are they into this kind of stuff?
I had to find out more later, but I'm gonna holler at y'all later. But yeah, y'all motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Shit, have a good night, I guess. It's Sunday night, so I'll holler. Peace.